There's nothing worse than feeling anxious, feeling that tightness in the chest, feeling overwhelmed, feeling fatigued. You got so much on your plate. You got to take care of laundry. You got to take care of the kids if you got them. You got to take care of picking up groceries, making the food, prepping all that, going to the gym, managing your work schedule. There's so many things we have to do, but in reality, we get to do these things as men. And so it's a mindset shift. But the whole synopsis of this is, why are we so stressed as men? There's a plethora of reasons. Environmental toxins, right? From plastics to pharmaceuticals to tap water like fluoride, all these things in there, heavy metals, parasites. On top of that, we aren't finding ways to cope with stress in a positive light. We're getting entrenched into the go, go, go world and not taking time to be human being. We're so human doing mode, right, as men. And lastly, I would say it's because our diet is crappy. We're not taking advantage of lifestyle habits that really serve us in our greater good. So in this video, we're going to be going through a plethora of things to help you adapt to life's curveballs and go with the flow, being stress-free. These are powerful modalities that not that many people talk about in the World Wide Web and on YouTube. So we're going to go in depth on them. On top of that, I'm going to share a little bit about what stress is and how we can work with it. Because you got to know the why, not just the what. Hello friends, my name is Christian Van Camp, a holistic lifestyle and performance coach for men. I help them optimize their essence inside and out with the Inner Fit program. I truly believe in inner fitness. I believe that if we start with the foundations of life, working naturally with Mother Nature, not against it, then we're going to start feeling amazing every waking day. It's not just about our physique, however, that's nice to look good naked. It's also about how do we feel? Are we energetic from dusk till dawn? Do we have purpose? And so much more. So that's what I'm all about. If you're interested in learning more about that, feel free to click on the caption below and learn more about it, or just simply DM me on Instagram at CVC Wellness. But let's jump into stress resilience and how you can become a stress resilient man. First things first, what is stress, right? Stress is a naturally occurring thing. It causes inflammation in the body when it's overdone. There's two types of stress to really focus on. It's chronic stress and then there's acute stress. Most of us nowadays have too much stress long term, right? It's from those things I mentioned earlier, environmental toxins, poor diet, not working with our overall stress markers and working against them in many ways by going, terrible sleep quality, all those things like that, right? So let's mitigate that and let's work with having purposeful acute stress that can help us out in the long term, right? This is hormesis. I want you to remember this word, hormesis. Hormesis is basically what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Think of it as like the short-term stressors that we take advantage of that can help us become chronically resilient with that relentless energy in the long run. So overall, the whole synopsis of this is, do you have chronic stressors that are going on long term? Our ancestors did not have chronic stress. That's why we have so many diseases occurring nowadays. Cancer, diabetes, hypertension, all that's rising because of this chronic stress in the body, this inflammation occurring on the body. Our ancestors only had acute stress, right? When we had to go hunting for something, when we were getting attacked by a predator, or perhaps we were low on food, so we would have these acute bouts of stress, and then we find food and we get replenished. So think about how you can get intertwined into our ancestral times in the modern day with some acute stress, not chronic stress. So let's go into the 3 ways you can work with stress markers and become more resilient as a man. Number 1 is building your microbiome. So this is increasing the overall diversity of certain foods to feed the microbiome, and on top of that, getting rid of things like this. Vegetable oils, big culprit of the microbiome health, highly processed industrial. This includes things like sunflower, safflower, canola, soybean. Cut those out, read food labels. On top of that is excessive sugar intake. Be very conscious of how much sugar you're consuming. Stacking those two together is not good. Trans fats included into that, so a lot of things relating to the vegetable oils increases these chains of trans fats which are not meant to be in our diet. As humans, we've evolved to have saturated fats and healthy fats, right? Colorings or additives or things made in a laboratory in our foods, right? So if we stick to whole foods, we won't have that problem. Really big on including more diversity with fibers, plant chemicals, and phytochemicals that are really nutrient dense, and getting different bacteria species, because we have over 300 to 500 different species within our gut. We have over 100 trillion bacteria within our gut right now. So we feed those the goodness of the food, then we're going to feel much better. So start feeding it more antioxidants coming from blueberries, there's dark berries and dark foods. This could be Ceylon cinnamon, cacao, things like that. And then also include, things like acacia fiber, psyllium husk, certain fibers that can rejuvenate the gut, and go low inflammatory. Maybe a modified carnivore diet can help you out. This includes, going more of a grass-fed beef approach, ruminant animals, wild salmon, eggs, and then include things like olives, avocado, we mentioned blueberries, things like that. That will rejuvenate the gut. So stick into optimizing your microbiome as number one. That will help you out with resilience and overall giving you the neurotransmitters which are produced in the gut, like serotonin. Over 90% of serotonin is produced in the gut, giving you more of that glow coming from those neurotransmitters. Next is movement consistently. Move your body. It helps relieve all that stress, helps move the lymphatic drainage, right? We have lymph that flows throughout our body, so if we can keep that consistently moving, we're going to help with our immune system, therefore our stress. So move consistently, walk 10 to 15,000 steps a day, just moving like a primal ancestor, right? We would always be moving. On top of that is prevent muscle wasting and atrophy by lifting 3 days a week. That is the InnerFit method. It's super powerful, focusing on key muscle exercises, building that strength and that foundation. The more muscle you have, the better you will respond to higher blood sugar loads, the better you'll respond to overall stress markers in life. So build some dense muscle that will help out a ton. Focus on an exercise program 3 to 4 days a week. Just move consistently on top of that. Lastly is heat and cold therapy. Adapt the body with heat and cold and stop working into the 70-degree thermostat all the time. Take advantage of high amounts of heat in the sauna 3 to 4 days a week, and then get cold every day if you can, okay? I'm a huge fan of using the sauna 3 to 4 days a week. Personally, I could do it every day if I really wanted to, but getting an extreme bout of sweat until you're like, whoa, man, I need to get out of here. Really powerful at building that hormesis. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. These are two main things that will help you out a ton is heat therapy and cold therapy. There's a study that was done, a 21-year study on these Finnish folk, and they found out that if they went in the sauna 3 to 7 days a week, it decreased all-cause mortality by over 25%, which is crazy. So your risk for diabetes, cancer, hypertension, all those things go down by 25% just going into the sauna and sweating. You're detoxing the body, you're supporting stress markers. Take advantage of those heat shock proteins. Look into this to build resilience. Next is taking advantage of those cold soaks. So I got back there the cold plunge, a powerful modality to take advantage of. You can regulate the temperature, has a filtration system into it. It's super epic and awesome. It runs all the time, so you can jump into it any time of day. I go into that non-negotiable every single morning. The cold plunge is the best on the market. It's the most affordable on the market that will last you long term, and you aren't going against sustainability by picking up bags of ice and wasting all that plastic. It's just not sustainable doing that, and it's a waste of time. So the cold plunge I'm a huge fan of. It's one of the best on the market and the most affordable for what you get out of it. You can check it out at thecoldplunge.com. Use the code CVC Wellness to get a snazzy discount on it. I'm a huge fan of this stuff. I use this all the time, and it's changed my life with just building that resilience, the opposite of that, and just feeling more empowered on a daily basis because you just feel your skin tighten up, your recovery is better. When I say my recovery is better, my cognition is sharper, and I just feel that mental fortitude coming about it. So take advantage of the cold therapy. So those are the 3 habits to build resilience as a man in this crazy era: reducing stress, reducing inflammation, and boosting your immune system and your overall physique by taking advantage of these 3 things. Boost your microbiome health, that 100 trillion bacteria in your gut. Give them the fortitude it needs. Cut out the ultra-processed foods. Take advantage of lifting weights 3 days a week, hypertrophy, building muscle. It reduces stress, it boosts endorphins. Move consistently on top of that like our primal ancestors. And last but not least, take advantage of heat therapy and cold therapy. Get cold. Take advantage of the cold plunge. It's a great way to adapt and become a resilient man. If you got some benefit, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon. Share this with someone that may benefit, and I'll see you guys on the other side.